right now.
It seems that seconds made all the difference for some people whose homes went up in flames.
They say they escaped just in time when the fire broke out early this morning.
Katrina Weber reports by the time it was put out, it had destroyed 2 homes and damaged 2 others.
With a lot of effort and even more water, San Antonio firefighters were determined to put out a house fire in this neighborhood southwest of downtown. The flames in the 200 block of Elmo Avenue, though, seemed just as determined to stay alive. The fire spread to a travel trailer from a house that at first appeared to be vacant.
It had burglar bars on it, no power, no electricity, no gas. But recently I heard that the homeowner was living in there.
That woman, who says she had not been inside since yesterday afternoon, was sleeping outside at the time. Jennifer Espinosa and her husband were asleep in the trailer, but woke up to smoke around 4:30 this morning.
But when he got up and went towards the front door, he noticed an orange color in the house.
They quickly grabbed what they could and ran.
By all accounts, it took only seconds for those burning flames to become that raging fire. And Espinosa says she had no time to spare when it came to getting out of the way.
Had he not woke me up when he did, and had we not gotten out of there, we would have been stuck in that trailer.
Everyone made it out safely, but the fire destroyed the home and trailer. It also damaged the outsides of 2 other homes next door.
I mean, everything we had is what we lost in there, So, but material, as long as we got out with our lives, that's more important.
For fire investigators, the priority seemed to be getting to the bottom of how it started. Katrina Weber, KSAT12 News.
Take you outside with live cam. This is kind of a repeat of what's been happening all week long, at least during the day. At night, we've had a few showers, but...
Well, last night, I think we got away with no showers.
None. But here's what's interesting, guys. Some storms that started up in the Texas Panhandle a little bit earlier today are now making their way down into our area. And most of the models wanted these storms to die down. They haven't done that yet. So let me show you the radar and show you where they are at the moment. They're moving through Junction and now working into Rock Springs. These are not severe, but they are packing a punch in the sense that there's a lot of lightning and thunder. There could be some small hail mixed in there and some gusty winds too. So you see that complex of storms right there. I'm going to pause the radar and I'll show you just how far away these are from moving into our area. If it'll work for me, it may not work. There we go. Let's see. There we go. It's still about 100 miles away from San Antonio. So we've got some time to watch it, but they are holding together at the moment, so this does bear some watching. If you're watching us from, say, Rock Springs, you're probably hearing the thunder at this point. This is kind of the heftier part of the storm, just north of Rock Springs. And where you see some of these purple colors, that's where you could get some of that small hail mixed in as these storms track off to the south and east at about 25 miles per hour. And they'll continue to hold, I think, probably for at least another hour or so. And we can put a track on it here. And no, wrong way. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's put this track on it. And let's say if you're in Lakey, yeah, it's about 30 miles away. It would be there by about 1:34. So these are the storms we'll be watching here over the next 30 minutes to an hour or so. And again, there is a small potential. These hold on all the way to San Antonio. We'll certainly let you know if that's how it plays out. 85 at 2 o'clock, 86 3 p.m. High temperatures today in the upper 80s. And then tonight we'll see those numbers dip down into the 70s with partly cloudy skies. After this, our rain chances are done, at least for a couple of days, and then they return by Memorial Day. We'll look at that forecast for you here in just a couple of minutes. Guys.
Thank you, Justin. Blood on a car seat. One of the pieces of evidence a Texas Ranger talked about during his testimony today in the retrial of Mark Howerton. Howerton is accused of the 2017 murder of his girlfriend, Kaylee Mendati, who is a Trinity University student and cheerleader. Texas Ranger Raymond Benoit told the jury what led to the arrest of Howerton, and one of the things he did was take photos of the inside of Howerton's car. On the passenger side, Mendati's shoes and some clothing were found, as well as some blood on the seat. He said that was the only area any blood was found. Eric Hernandez continues to follow this trial. For the latest, just head over to our website, KSAT12.
Police are hoping to find 2 missing children by launching a new campaign on billboards. The cases are unrelated but have gone cold for years. Ava Baldwin has been missing since September of 2015, and Matthew Montanez has been gone since January of last year. Today, Matthew's mother had this to say about her missing son as she encouraged people to come forward with any information.
We love you, Matthew. And we miss you. And, you know, those friends that probably don't want to say where you're at, you know, you're not helping him. One day you're going to become a parent. And I pray that you don't got to go through what I've been going through, what my family has been going through. I just want to say that I love you, Matthew. And I hope you come home safe, and I hope you're good.
Police say the billboards are part of a month-long effort to generate leads in the cases. They will include digital billboards featuring Ava and Matthew's faces. The effort coming from a partnership between police and the Texas Center for the Missing and National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Those organizations are helping launch similar campaigns in other cities to help find more missing people.
An arbitrator who for years has decided the professional fates of fired San Antonio first responders is now facing criticism regarding his own background. After filing for bankruptcy, arbitrator Thomas Cipolla was accused of trying to shield one of his assets, a condo on South Padre Island. An appeals court later ruled there was sufficient circumstantial evidence to support the finding that Cipolla had acted with the intent to defraud.
It's incumbent on the county to ensure that this process, this arbitration process, is fair, impartial, and objective.
Coming up on the 6 o'clock news, how these bankruptcy records could impact the high-profile firing of a Bexar County Sheriff's lieutenant.
This noon, police are still looking for a driver involved in a hit and run on the city's west side. According to Bexar County Sheriff's deputies, it happened on Alamo Parkway, just outside of Loop 1604 around 10:30 last night. Deputies say the man was hit by another driver from behind. That driver, though, left the crash, and the man was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Right now, there is no description of who hit him.
San Antonio fire investigators spent the morning trying to find out how a vacant house on the south side caught on fire. Crews spent more than an hour putting the fire out on Chicago Boulevard between Highway 90 and South Presa. They believe someone possibly started the fire in the attic, and that's where they found most of the damage, including a sagging roof close to collapsing. No one hurt, but we are told the house will be demolished for safety reasons before the end of the day.
We're just about a week away from the moment that the U.S. defaults on its debts, at least according to the prediction of economists.
Meanwhile, the White House and Congress are still nowhere close to a deal, and that's where negotiations will stay for the next few days because lawmakers are already leaving for the Memorial Day holiday.
ABC's Morgan Norwood tells us why, even when they do reach a deal, the work is just beginning.
As House members prepare to leave Washington for the Memorial Day recess, the debt ceiling talks are being pushed to the brink as the U.S. tips closer to an unprecedented default that could have catastrophic effects on the national and global economies. In response to the political wrangling between Congress and the White House, Fitch, one of the major credit rating agencies, has put the country's AAA credit rating on a negative watch. Now, it's not a downgrade, but it is a warning that America's top-notch credit worthiness is at risk.
If these people, these representatives spent half as much time on focusing on our problems as they do trying to mess up the other side, we would have a lot fewer problems.
Bipartisan negotiators met for 4 hours at the White House Wednesday.
And yesterday, I thought was a very good day. I thought we made some progress.
Democratic House Leader Hakeem Jeffries calling on Republicans to stop listening to the, quote, extreme wing of their party and work with Democrats to avert a default.
It does appear increasingly likely that House Republicans want a dangerous default.
But McCarthy has said they will not agree to raise the debt limit until the president agrees to spending cuts and work requirements for those receiving federal aid. The two sides, though, do appear to be on the same page about clawing back unspent COVID funds, but are still divided on how much to limit spending. Now, if a deal is reached, leaders will have to move quickly on this, right? The bill will need to be written, read, and voted on by both chambers of Congress before that anticipated June 1st default deadline. Now, lawmakers headed to recess have already been warned to be ready to return quickly in case a deal comes through. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Washington.
Still coming up this half hour, local softball teams continue to make history, advancing in the playoffs. We'll talk about keeping that dream alive coming up.
Local children are taking a swing at golf, a new program introducing them to the game at an early age, but it's teaching them more than just skills on the green.
It is a program empowering kids through the game of golf.
That's right.
Four.
He's pretty good at it.
Summer Ride is right around the corner, and we're taking you to First Tee San Antonio.
Tiffany Huerta shows us how, beyond just swinging a golf club, it can teach young people how to tee off into life with emotional skills.
Since last summer, 8-year-old Isaac Garcia has been practicing his golf swing at the First Tee of Greater San Antonio Center on East Mulberry Avenue. It's a youth development organization introducing the game of golf to young people.
Coming here, they teach them a lot of values. So they teach them honesty, being courageous, going out there and participating in sports. So that's one thing I've noticed with Isaac is he's a lot more outspoken now. He's confident.
We are a driving range, a beautiful driving range that has putting green, chipping green, and then we also have programs for the kids.
Gabby Rangel, the program director for First Tee, says last year they served over 1,500 kids.
We have a spring, summer, and fall session that we'll have for an hour each week.
The summer session registration will open next month for participants ages 5 to 18 years old. It's 7 weeks of 1-hour classes hosted at 9 different sites.
We do teach them goal setting, how to manage emotions, and then just really how to go through life, perseverance.
The programs are teaching kids not only about the fundamentals of the golf swing and the game, but it's providing them different opportunities.
We did just have four seniors graduate, and 2 of them are going to play college golf.
Isaac has some tips for other kids wanting to join the program.
Have fun, be focused, and keep practicing.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT12 News.
Yeah, you'll be practicing all the way into your 80s, still learning the game.
Still learning. That's a great program down there, though. If you've never been down there to just hit balls.
Have you ever been down there to watch a polo game?
No.
That used to be
the polo field.
That used to be the polo field for the city.
We could talk about history all we want. There used to be a barn across the street.
You could rent horses.
You could rent horses.
And ride through Brackenridge Park.
Yeah.
Those were the good old days. All right.
Don't lead that in for Justin. Don't.
I was going to say, I learned something new every day with you guys.
Yeah, we had rotary phones back then.
I won't go there. I'm not going to do it. The aquifer is down a tenth of a foot to 647.5. In your pollen count, molds are still high. They're at 1,420, but that's all we have as far as allergens go. We are keeping close track on some showers and storms in the hill country right now, and whether or not they'll make it to San Antonio still in question. We'll show you the radar coming up.
I finally checked the rain gauge yesterday for the night before.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there's like almost a half inch in there.
Oh, yeah.
Good
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
Some places got a lot of rain.
Yeah, but last night, nothing, huh?
Nope, nothing last night. And we've been talking about this flow that we're in, where we get stuff that develops up in the Texas Panhandle and then makes it all the way down here. Well, we have another instance of that today. It didn't come overnight, but now we're starting to see it work into our area. And this started way up there around Lubbock. And this complex of storms has been chugging southeast, and it hasn't let up. Most of the computer models had this dying down, but in this kind of flow, it's always tricky. The models never have a great handle on it. And I'll tell you, this looks robust still. And on the current track, it would take it into parts of Real and Bandera County here over the next couple of hours. So it does bear some watching. Nothing severe. That's the good news here. This is some strong weather, but not severe. Small hail, some gusty winds, maybe some wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour, and some penny-sized hail. You can see that with these storms. They are working their way through Rock Springs. You're getting some pretty heavy rain as we speak. They're in the city of Rock Springs as we zoom in a little bit closer. There's Highway 41 there, 377 that goes into Rock Springs. Most of this is pretty rural out here, but hey, we need the rain here too. We need it all over South Texas, right? So here it comes, and it is moving southeast at about 25 miles per hour, as we said. There's some pretty good rainfall rates with this. And the question will be, does it hold together, and will it make it to San Antonio? I think that's, well, it's kind of hard to determine right now, but I do think this dies down a little bit before it gets here. Let's put a track on it, though, and we'll take it. 25 miles per hour is the current speed. So if we put that right about there, Lost Maples at about 108 is when you can expect some heavier rain there. I'd say Lakey maybe a little bit before that if that southern part of the line does hold. And if it's going to move towards San Antonio, it's going to be more like 2 or 3 o'clock today. Again, we'll be watching it. We'll let you know if it does indeed hold together. But right now, quite a bit of lightning with it. This is one computer model, and it has this thing dying down before it gets here. And it shows most of it going away by 2 o'clock. I don't know if that's the case. I still think we're going to see some rain across the hill country, but it very well could die down before it gets here to San Antonio. Nonetheless, it will bring some clouds in. Like yesterday, we had a similar situation where we had some storms that came close and then they pushed clouds into the area, and it just kind of held temperatures in check. Hopefully that's what we'll see today. 86 at 3 o'clock, 87 at 4 p.m., and then 84 at 7 o'clock. Tonight, partly cloudy, temperatures in the 70s. Should be a nice evening. And as we go outside for you right now, we've got 83 and a dew point of 67. That translates to temperatures feeling like they're in the mid-80s right now. And you see the cloud cover. There's quite a bit of it here around San Antonio, but it's even thicker where those storms are, and some of that thicker cloud cover will start to move in. Look at the temperature in Junction, 65 rain-cooled air, 75 in Rock Springs. Will probably cool down a little bit more there. 82 in Honda, though, 85 Pleasanton, 82 in Kennedy, where we're seeing partly cloudy skies and the low 80s here around San Antonio. Hey, if you're doing some traveling, all looks good across the state of Texas. Obviously, we have those storms in the hill country, but otherwise it's partly cloudy just about everywhere else. Hot spot there in the state, Brownsville. If you're heading down there, smooth travels, temperatures right around 90. And maybe you're going to the beach this weekend. Looks good there, too, at least for Saturday and Sunday. We are adding in some rain chances on Monday with a high of 86, 30% chance of rain down there. But the water temperature is anywhere from 82 to 86, which is not bad. Long term here, high pressure builds in over the weekend. So that will allow for some quiet weather. And then we'll get another area of low pressure coming out on Monday, which will kick up some rain chances, it looks like. So we'll have an opportunity for rain on Monday for Memorial Day, just a heads up there. Extended forecast, 87 Friday, 88 Saturday, 87 on Sunday. There's your 30% chance of rain Monday and Tuesday of next week, I should add, with another small chance coming up on Wednesday. Guys.
Thank you, Justin.
Local high school and college softball teams ready for another round of the playoffs, and the Celtics are going home. They need to take advantage of their own crowd and not get burned by the heat again. Big day for the New Braunfels Canyon softball team. They are back in the regional finals for the first time since 2019. They head to the regional with a perfect record. The Cougarettes have not lost a game this season. They've played 3 straight one-game playoff rounds and have won them all by a combined margin of 21-3. They talk about the pressure of going undefeated in the playoffs.
No, it's definitely one of those things where it's like every single game you just forget about it. Like we play as the Canyon Cougarettes and not as a 28-0 team, and I think that's what makes us different from a lot of other teams because we're very humble about it, and I really enjoy that about this team.
We take every game like we don't take it lightly. I mean, we work hard every day just to be where we're at. We practice in the rain whenever everyone else is not. So I mean, I think all of our hard work has really paid off.
This will be a little rivalry going on here. Canyon swept both games against Smithson Valley this season, 7-0 and then 2-1. And they're going to face the Rangers in the regional final starting tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. The buzz getting louder at East Central. Their softball team is still making school history, now advancing to the regional final for the first time ever. The Hornets have been one of the area's best teams over the last few seasons, and the senior class has been a big part of their success. But underclassmen like pitcher Janice Ramirez and infielder Izzy Estrada are big reasons why they got over the hump this year.
Chemistry needed to get worked into that process early on, and as we did that and as we grew, we knew that we started to elevate. We knew that we had something special and that these girls were strong and they were building a relationship and a commitment to one another, and here we are.
East Central squares off against San Benito in a 3-game regional final series starting tonight in Beeville. You can watch the entire series live on the BGC app. More history, this time college softball. Our Lady of the Lake softball team has already posted the best season in program history. They're going 40-4 overall so far this year and earning their first berth in the NAIA Softball World Series. They're currently ranked number 2 in the nation. And we now know it is a special season. We wanted to know if they realized how special it is.
Yes, it was going up to Oklahoma City on, I believe it was like February 27th, and around that area. We beat the number 1 and top 5 team, and after that we all look at each other and we're just like, hey, like, this is it, like, we have a chance. Okay, it's pretty simple just to like go up there and just like lose because they're a really good team, but after we beat them, it was kind of like expected, like, we can do this.
Well, the Saints have a first-round bye. They're going to take on their first World Series opponent Friday afternoon in Columbus, Georgia. NBA playoffs, where the Boston Celtics were able to rally in their game against the Miami Heat, stopping a sweep. The Celtics were finally able to get things going at both ends of the floor in unison in their Game 4 win. They took advantage of 16 Heat turnovers. Their three-point shot was falling, and they're now down 3-1, headed back home where they lost the first 2 to Miami. So now they have to take advantage of being on their home court.
Big win. Big win. You know, anytime you get the win in the playoffs, it means a lot. Definitely with our backs against the wall, we didn't want to go out like that. So we galvanized last night, and we all wanted to come out and win. And to be able to come out and execute and do it is big. So now we take it back home into the Garden and try to keep that and carry it on and try to get another win.
We let go of the rope on the defensive side of the ball, turn the ball over, didn't get back in transition. All the things we said we were going to do, we did not. And that was the game. And it got out of hand pretty early. Our energy was low, which we cannot have. And it's on myself and it's definitely on the starting group to make sure that that doesn't happen.
So it is the Celtics and Heat tip-off 7:30, Game 5 tonight. The Heat lead once again 3-1, so they can close out the Celtics if they can win. The winner's going to take on the Denver Nuggets, and they're just kind of sitting around watching, waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't start the NBA Finals till next week.
And the Lakers are just sitting around watching.
Oh,
too.
That's too bad about the Lakers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Wow. Several weight loss drugs are gaining popularity. Now companies say that they're working on some new medications, which they say could surpass what's currently on the market and give people even better results.
And downtown, SA Live getting cranked up for a big, oh, you know what? That looks like cotton candy right there.
Oh.
Look at Mike making some cotton candy.
Oh.
Ooh. It's going to be a fun SA Live. Got a little
and he's
sticky,
drinking
too.
something.
He's drinking and making cotton candy.
It looks like wine. Wine and cotton candy?
Oh, no.
That's not right. Today marking 3 years since George Floyd's death, the 46-year-old killed by Minneapolis police officers in 2020. A moment in history that sparked protests throughout the country. An officer held him down with a knee on his neck, all of which caught on cameras with a crowd of bystanders shouting at officers to stop. All 4 of the officers who took part in the fatal restraint of Floyd have now been convicted on both state and federal charges. The following year, the officer who was seen kneeling on Floyd's neck was sentenced to more than 22 years in prison.
House Oversight Chairman James Comer and FBI Director Christopher Wray are set to meet in the next few days. The Kentucky Republican continuing to move on his investigation into President Joe Biden's business dealings. Comer previously threatened to hold Wray in contempt of Congress if the agency refuses to comply with a subpoena for an internal document. According to a letter Comer sent Wray, a whistleblower alleges that the document shows then Vice President was involved in a criminal scheme with a foreign national. The White House has previously slammed the claim against Biden, calling it an unfounded, politically motivated attack.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis making it official in his bid for the Republican presidential nomination. He did it live on Twitter. The unconventional announcement, however, had some technical issues. Despite the rough start, DeSantis is in good standing with Florida voters, winning re-election last year in a 19-point landslide. He's also raised more money by far than any other Republican challenger to former President Donald Trump.
With the success of drugs designed to treat type 2 diabetes and obesity, helping people lose weight, researchers are working on more options. The experimental drugs aim to surpass a couple of other successful weight loss drugs. Several of the new medications now in development could increase weight loss and offer other additional health benefits. Some of the experimental drugs could even be offered in pill form rather than injections, but it could be years before many of the new drugs reach the market.
Take a look outside with live cam. You'd never know it if you looked at this. It's a pretty day out there, but we could be in store for some rain in a couple hours.
Could be. You know, we've been watching these storms all morning long. They started way up in the Texas Panhandle, and they've made traveled a good distance now into the Texas Hill Country, and they're still holding together, which is pretty impressive. Let me show you on the radar where these storms are at this hour. They've made it through Rock Springs, and they're actually picking up speed just a little bit. You see kind of the heavier cluster there starting to work into Real County. So Lakey, you need to be on the lookout for these storms. They're not severe, but they are strong. You're going to get some lightning and thunder. There could be some small hail, and I think you're going to get some pretty gusty winds here in Lakey if this does hold, and it looks like it will. When you see these lines kind of bow out a little bit like that, they often have some pretty strong gusty winds with them. And so, again, if you're in Lakey, you want to keep an eye out for these storms. They're moving now at about 35 miles per hour, so we can put a track on this, draw it out here. And we'll call for 35 miles per hour here, moving out to the south and east. And that would put it in Lakey at about 12:52. So before we end the show, these storms may be moving through your neck of the woods. Los Maples, 102. And then this will make its way down towards Medina County if it does hold together. And Bandera, that's another place so we'll want to keep a lookout for these storms. Now, in theory, they should be weakening some, but they just have not done that. We're still getting quite a few lightning strikes. And what we can do here is put the lightning counter on, and you'll see that we're still recording here 122 strikes, lightning strikes. You know that these are still fairly robust. Now, the numbers are down a little bit as far as the lightning strikes go, but holding for right now. And we'll continue to watch these storms, again, as they're moving southeast at a pretty quick clip. Here in San Antonio, it remains to be seen if we see any of this rain. If that does hold together, then we could see a few showers, maybe 2, 3 o'clock. We'll certainly let you know if that's the case. Otherwise, we're in the upper 80s this afternoon, and then down into the 70s tonight, guys.
Thank you, Justin.
Remembering Tina Turner and her legacy on and off stage, from surviving abuse to breaking barriers and becoming one of the most powerful performers of all time.
ABC's Steve Osunsami on a woman who was a trailblazer, an icon who proved it's never too late to try again.
Long before she was asking what's love got to do with it, the always incomparable Tina Turner was in love with a man who famously didn't treat her right. Back then, people didn't call it domestic violence. But when she left him and the reality of their relationship poured into the papers, she spoke for women and families struggling with abuse at home. In this documentary film from 2021 that aired on HBO, she and her children explained how hard it was to leave.
2 days later, black-eyed, this eye stayed black.
You know, he took a lot of his anger out on her.
The next day, it was the 4th of July, and I said, "What the 4th of July?" But I'll remember every time, the 4th of July is when I got my freedom.
Her freedom came at great cost. She left with her name and little more. But she showed the world that it's never too late to start over when in the early 1980s, she became bigger than Ike and Tina Turner ever were. She recorded her most successful album, Private Dancer, in just 2 weeks after one of the songs that would appear on the record caught fire.
Let me be the one you come running.
She was in her mid-40s, teaching the young kids how it's done, with the most famous legs in show business that people long rumored were insured for millions. She became an inspiration for a world of women led by Oprah Winfrey. And her fashion was iconic. Pretty soon, few people were really remembering her ex-husband.
The world is bereft without a Tina Turner in it because she symbolizes Black life. Tina Turner is Black woman's life and vitality against the odds, against an abusive childhood, against an abusive marriage, against the abuses of the industry.
Her story became an Oscar-nominated movie and Tony Award-winning musical. Actress Angela Bassett, who famously portrayed Turner on screen, writes that Tina Turner showed others who lived in fear what a beautiful future filled with love, compassion, and freedom should look like. Without question, Tina Turner leaves this world having changed the way we talk about surviving abusive relationships, with her powerful, brassy voice and the most honest melodies.
That was Steve Osunsami. Memorial Day travel expected to see an uptick. How airlines are working to handle that rush.
A viral video finally answering the age-old question, why did the moose cross the road? The answer coming up.
I thought it was a chicken.
Moose.
And this Memorial Day weekend, usually a great time to take advantage of the sales. However, if you notice there are less discounts, there's a reason for it. What shoppers are looking for that is affecting your holiday sales.
New today at 5, the sun is heating things up just in time for summer. To protect you and your family from the sun's harmful rays, we're breaking down which sunscreens on the market offer the best protection. That's today at 5 after Entertainment Tonight.